These are ZD Toys Avengers Endgame action figures. What's up, everyone, and thank you for joining us once again on the D-Star01 channel. I'm your host, Dexter Arafiles, and today we're going to be looking at something a little different. Now, usually, anything that usually comes from China, to me, is a bootleg, but not today. Today we're going to be looking at the ZD Toys Worthy Captain America and War Machine from Avengers Endgame, and these figures are really interesting to me because these are actually officially licensed figures. That's right. I have a ZD Toys Thanos. I reviewed that on the last This Is Not with Thanos in it, and I honestly thought it was a bootleg. But to my surprise, it was not. It is a ZD Toys Thanos, and I said, you know what? I wonder what else they have to offer, and I found these two figures at AliExpress for only $15 shipped. Wow, that is quite a bargain from what I can tell by looking at these figures. So enough of me talking. Let's open these guys up. First, we're going to start with Captain America. I want to see what's going on here. I want to see if he's worth the money. He's about $15, like I said before, and there's no tape here, so we can just open him right up. And to my surprise, these shipped from China, and they actually shipped really well for once. Usually I get like a smash box or something like that. But today I don't get that. Today I get a really nice box. Actually, I think it is tape. Let me see. So there is tape here. Let's just open this up. As I already ruined the box, my bad, guys. Let's get this guy open. Now, from what I can tell by looking at this figure, it actually looks a little bit too big in terms of scale. But I guess we're going to look at that. We're going to compare him with another Captain America, which is the Marvel Legends, which is what these figures look like they're competing against. So let's take this Captain America out of the box, and let's look at paint and detail, articulation, and scale, and accessories. And let me just tell you, yes, this guy is absolutely huge. But let's look at the paint and detail before we go into scale. And wow, this looks really cool, especially for something that I did not expect would be anything like this. And let's look at the details here. Wow, there's some texture on the suit. It is not just a smooth suit. There's some ruffling on the clothes and the pants. Look at this armor. It has a really nice sheen of metal on it with that chainmail-like look. And let's look at the Avengers logo right there. That looks absolutely amazing. We even have brown on the helmet. The face looks okay. It doesn't quite look like Chris Evans, but everything else looks really, really solid. Not bad for a $15 figure, and you even get like double joints on the knees and everything like that. The boots, the paint and detail is absolutely amazing for something of this cost. It is almost that of like an SH figure. Now I don't want, okay, maybe not SH figure arts, but the scale wise, I think is really what's killing me here. But everything else looks absolutely amazing. So let's get this out of the way. This is a Marvel Legends. Wow. Okay. Definitely not a 1/12 scale figure at all. My goodness, he's just really big. That looks like a head taller than the Marvel Legends Captain America, Worthy Captain America. I think this is like a 1/10 scale, if not 1/9 scale. He's just much bigger. So if you guys are stickler for scales, or for in-scale figures, like everything in your collection is a 1/12 scale, this figure might not be for you, even though it's quite the value and the bargain, for, especially since it looks absolutely amazing for something for $15. Unfortunately for me, and this is completely my opinion, I would not put this in my collection just because he would not fit with everyone else. That's just me. So that's that in terms of paint and detail. Now we're going to move on to War Machine here. We're going to open this guy up. Now, I don't think there is an MCU War Machine yet in terms of Marvel Legends. And let's see, from Endgame, that is. And so this could be your only chance to get him. Now, some people might be like, oh, well, he's just a large figure anyway, or a large character because he's a guy in armor. So this one might actually work in terms of Marvel Legends. So let's look at this guy first in terms of paint and detail. And let's look right here. Let's look real close. Wow. That looks really cool. The plastic's a little bit too shiny for my taste. I think this is where they kind of skimp on in terms of the cost, which is why these guys are so cheap, is that the plastic could be much better. It doesn't feel like a quality plastic. It feels a little flimsy and cheap, but at the same time, it still looks decent. I wouldn't say it's totally awful. I think that's the only thing I have to say. The feel of the figure does not feel like quality, but the look does. I think that's really what I'm trying to say to you guys. So let's look at this War Machine, and that looks pretty good, I'd have to say. The decals and everything look really spot on. It could use a little shot of matte finish, in my opinion. I think another thing, and I think this goes for most Marvel Legends Iron Man figures, is that there is no waist swivel. And actually, let's look at the cap here. Is there a waist swivel? No, he doesn't have a waist swivel either, whereas Marvel Legends, they do have a waist swivel for maximum posability. So you don't get a waist swivel with this guy. I guess we'll go more into that when it comes to articulation and scale, but so far he doesn't look half bad. I think, honestly, when it comes to paint and detail on this War Machine, the overall feel just doesn't feel like a quality figure. When it comes to Captain America, he does feel a little bit better. Maybe it's because of all the texture that we feel on the clothes and everything like that. So there are these two. And let's see how he stands next to a Marvel Legends War Machine. And whoa, he just towers over. Well, he's taller. It looks like, yeah, he's supposed to be taller. In reality, this War Machine is supposed to be pretty big. So, no, again, not in scale. So if you're looking at the ZD toys here, you're looking at much larger scale figures. Looks like to be 1/9, 1/10 scale, much bigger. So let's move on to articulation in scale. Let's stand these guys up, and I'll show you exactly how tall they're standing. So let's look here. We're looking at a really large figure of about, let's say, 6.5, no, 7.25. And then, of course, War Machine is the same. Now let's look here at this Captain America from Marvel Legends, and he's looking to be 6.5, so he's a whole inch taller. Definitely not in scale. Let's look at this War Machine right here. So he's standing at about 7 inches, maybe, roughly. No, it's under 7. So he's about 6.75. So definitely these guys are much bigger, for sure. Couldn't tower over them. We have a Hasbro Soldier 76, definitely not in scale with anything from my collection, unfortunately. So, man, that's kind of unfortunate. I think if they scaled them lower, these would definitely fit much better in my collection, but they do not. So let's go into articulation. Let's look at Captain America here. He has a up and down here at the knee. He does have a nice ankle rocker. That double jointed knee looks really good. We have a ball joint there in the inner thigh. Doesn't get a good side kick in, and unfortunately, just because of this, the pants just get in the way. Can you do a front kick? No, this is not a good front kick. When you look at this Captain America, he can get a solid front kick in, and that's maybe because he also has a decent ab crunch and a really nice side kick, whereas this one, he cannot get that leg all the way up, and this is as far as it's going to go. That is so unfortunate. I honestly do not like that. I always love a good solid kick in the pose, but this guy cannot do a really good front kick. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. We don't get, like I said, we don't get a waist swivel. We do get an upper waist swivel, which doesn't really do that well. And, of course, we have joints here for the shoulder. He cannot hug himself, whereas this one can sort of hug him. Yeah, he can hug himself much better. I'm talking about the Marvel Legends version. That's because the joints are just designed better, I guess. So you can get something like this. You cannot get that kind of pose with this figure, unfortunately. Oh, man. So, yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. We go bicep swivel, double jointed elbow right there. We get a joint here at the wrist and one at the neck, looking to be maybe under 20 points of articulation. Hold on, let me do a quick count. Looks to be 18 points of articulation. That's it. The Marvel Legends, I know, are well above 20 points of articulation. You are not getting as much articulation points. And let's look here. I'm just going to give this a quick look and see if everything is the same. Yes, everything is the same with this War Machine. Under 20 points of articulation. My goodness. Oh, man. So Captain America looks good so far. This is my assessment so far. Captain America does look good. The lack of articulation points is killing it for me, considering that I have the Marvel Legends one, and I really love this figure. And when it comes to War Machine, the lack of articulation points disappoints me as well. I don't know. I'm going to have to say the more that I'm playing with these things, the more that I'm not liking them. And, of course, that's obviously my opinion. Because I cannot stand the scale on these guys. They're too big. And the lack of articulation points is killing it for me. So, I guess let's look at the accessories. Maybe it'll make things better. Let's look at Captain America here. I lied. I thought it was a worthy cap, but it is not a worthy cap because we do not get a hammer. We do get the stand, which is a really nice stand, mind you. Oh yeah, that's a nice stand. Looks like that stand's going to be staying in my collection. Let me check the box real quick. So no, we do not get Mjolnir, so this is not a worthy cap, unfortunately. Oh man. But let's get this shield on him, and let's see how he looks. Put it right here. So that is a ball joint in that wrist. That fits really nice. I don't like the way that shield looks. It looks really cheap. And let's compare it with this. This looks really nice. Even the shield. Oh, look at this. Scale is bigger on the figure. Shield is smaller. Scale is smaller on this figure on the Marvel Legends. And the shield is bigger. That doesn't make any sense to me. So no on that. And let's look at the other hands. You get a closed fist hand with the gloves and this one right here. I swore this one came with Mjolnir. But I guess we don't get Mjolnir. Maybe I'm lacking in the package because it looks like this fist right here. Or maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it looks like he can get Mjolnir. Sure, let's do something like this. Let's get Mjolnir off of him. And this is the Mjolnir from Worthy Cap. Let's put it on this cap. So you can just fit a Marvel Legends Mjolnir, which looks okay. Actually, this looks pretty good, I'd have to say. The shield is just way too small, especially for this scale. My goodness. I do not like the shield on this guy. Oh, man. That's kind of unfortunate. And then, of course, we get the stand. And then let's look at what you get here is we get some effect pieces, which we'll probably put on War Machine at the end of the video. And we get the same stand. We get two open hands for War Machine right here. Let's look at War Machine. Let's stand him up. And let's get this gun on him. Is that really it? Am I seeing this correctly? Oh, man. Even the gun doesn't come up. There's no slot to... Okay. That's not as cool as I thought it would be. Sure, let's just get one of these hand pieces in. Why not? So we can get some sort of repulsor. Actually, you know what's funny? Okay, so here's something I noticed. So I got these effect pieces, and I'm like, does it go on the hand? And no, it doesn't go on the hand. But here's something very interesting here, and I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me take my pick out. These are artificially drilled in holes. You can tell because it has a lot of frayed plastic, and that's for these effect pieces, which is, not cool, honestly. Okay, let's come up with a conclusion of these two figures. Let me take this hammer off because this is not proper. And let's take this off. Let's just fit them back. Question of the day. Are these worth your money? Maybe. I don't know. For me, personally, no. And the reason is I have so many Marvel Legends, so many SH figure arts and stuff like that are 1/12 scale, that scale really well together. I like to have a synchronized collection of everyone's scaled well. So as you can see here, this is my Captain America. I put him up on my shelf. I think he's absolutely an amazing figure in terms of Marvel Legends. And if I were to put these two up, they would not look good. Even War Machine, which is naturally a bigger figure. So no, I'd have to say I do not want these up on my shelf. I personally would not get them because the whole feng shui of my collection is to keep it in 1/12. And these do not do that job. Now, if you are someone that just wants a really inexpensive yet really good Marvel or Avengers Endgame action figure, I'd have to say these aren't bad. I mean, I got these for $15 shipped on AliExpress. I mean, that's not bad, and it comes in a nice box. It comes with a stand. The only thing I think that's truly wrong, if you're asking me like from a standpoint of if these weren't if you're not a strictly 112 collector, these are not bad. But my biggest issue with War Machine here is that this gun does not go up and it just stays back there. So no action poses for this guy using his gun. A big issue here for Captain America is that this shield is way too small. It doesn't look good on him. It looks really dinky. But besides that, the paint and detail on these are not half bad. Especially Cap there. Cap actually looks pretty good. So that is my assessment of it. For me, they're not for me. But for you, you're like, I don't care about scale. I just don't care. I just want really good Avengers figures. Then these are something you might want to look at. Anyway, guys, I think that's all I have for today. I think I've taken this way too long. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. I know Janelle's supposed to be here, but she's really busy right now, so I decided to take it upon myself to unbox these for you guys. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching again. Do not forget to go to www.dstartoys.com, your reliable source for awesome, 100% authentic action figures. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Hey you! Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Where? Right here. Not there, right here. You. And thanks for watching. So, rate, comment, and subscribe. Right here, right there, right here. Yeah.